Good Wednesday morning. Thank you for joining Pastor's Chat with Teaching Pastor Randy at Fletcher United Methodist Church. Those that see me often don't have my glasses on, but with this type of mask, I would kind of fog things up. And my hair's much too long, and hopefully be able to get that cut soon. This coming Sunday, we will be looking at one of the most important events in the Hebrew Scriptures, and it involves a crucial step of the promise to Abraham and Sarah about they would be the progenitors, the parents, grandparents of more than the sands, people of more than the sands or the stars. But this is the greatest challenge that Abraham really faced, and there is a huge amount of rabbinical literature of the rabbis and other commentators trying to understand all the dynamics of what was going on here. And so I would like for you to spend some time between now and Sunday thinking and praying about this. And if you have some reflections, if you have some questions, as I continue forming my sermon for Sunday, just shoot those on to me through an email or a text, and I'd like to hear from you if possible. But this is the text from Genesis 22, verses 1 through 14. After these things, God tested Abraham. He said to him, "Abraham," and he said, "Here I am." He said, "Take your son, your only son, Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah, and offer him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains that I shall show you." So Abraham rose early in the morning, saddled his donkey, and took 2 of his young men with him and his son Isaac. He cut the wood for the burnt offering and set out, and went to the place in the distance that God had shown him. On the 3rd day Abraham looked up and saw the place far away. Then Abraham said to his young men, "Stay here with the donkey. The boy and I will go over there. We will worship, and then we will come back to you." Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it on his son Isaac, and he himself carried the fire and the knife. So the 2 of them walked on together. Isaac said to his father Abraham, "Father," and he said, "Here I am, my son." He said, "The fire and the wood are here, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering?" Abraham said, "God himself will provide the lamb for a burnt offering, my son." So the 2 of them walked on together. When they came to the place that God had shown him, Abraham built an altar there and laid the wood in order. He bound his son Isaac and laid him on the altar on top of the wood. Then Abraham reached out his hand and took the knife to kill his son. But the angel of the Lord called to him from heaven and said, "Abraham, Abraham." And he said, "Here I am." He said, "Do not lay your hand on the boy or do anything to him. For now I know that you fear God, since you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me." And Abraham looked up and saw a ram caught in a thicket by its horns. Abraham went and took the ram and offered it up as a burnt offering instead of his son. So Abraham called that place, "The Lord will provide." And it is said to this day, "On the mount of the Lord it shall be provided." In this text there is enough material, enough questions, enough interpretation that basically you could do a year of sermons about. And like I said, a lot of the rabbis, a lot of the commentators have looked at several different versions and issues of what could have been going on. Just a few of those questions. What did Abraham think? And what did he wrestle with emotionally and spiritually from the time he left home until he got to the top of that mountain with one purpose that he had been given? One commentator said, that from the moment they left home until he got to the mountain, Abraham only looked up once when he saw the mountain ahead, that his eyes continued to be just on the ground. Did Isaac have any inclination? And was he suspicious when he asked the question, "Everything else I see, but I don't see the sacrifice"? There are a number of commentators that wonder, what was it like for Sarah? Was she suspicious? Because remember, this was the son that she never thought that she would have. And she laughed. Both of them laughed when they were told by God that it's not Ishmael. It's not the child of the servant woman. It will be the fruit of your own two loins. And there are a lot of other questions. What does this mean for us? To follow God, will God challenge us at times to give up everything? And what does it mean to the gift of God's self in going to the cross for us? So I'd love for you to at least spend some time reading and listening to this lesson, to meditate on it. And if you have questions, if you have some of your own reflections, I invite you and really do want to hear from some of you about things that you wonder about and your own conclusions moving forward. I look forward to being with you on Sunday. Have a blessed week.